R13 Season 3 of Torpedo League. Looking forward to this one. Unfortunately, my co-commentator Clint is not here tonight. I do not have any replacements, so unfortunately you're stuck with my voice. For today's race, so let's have a look, see if we got a new driver coming in called Omar07. Arsenal will be calling him calling him Omar. Just so you know. Other than that, there's no one else really. I mean, you've got the usuals. You've got Jake. Buller is not driving tonight for Mercedes, so I believe it would just be Jackson by himself. I'm not sure about any drivers are actually missing, but we have 16 at the moment, which is a good sign. So, I thought I'd start off with a few points. First of all, for anyone watching, if you see any helmets that have maybe like a yellow and green, or if there's a helmet that's red and white, that is because this weekend for real life Formula 1 we're at Imola, and of course Imola, as great as a track it is, it's also infamous as being pretty much, it held one of I guess the worst weekends for Formula 1, as they lost two drivers consecutive days. Of course, Roland Ratzenberger being the first one, and the second one being Ayrton Senna. So, of course, red and white for Roland Ratzenberger, and yellow and green for Ayrton Senna. So, that's why, again, you may see different coloured helmets to what we usually see. And also, one thing I noticed is Kyle has changed his flag to the Austrian one for Roland. And I don't think anyone else has, but yeah, thought I'd quickly touch on that just so you know. Maybe I go silent on whichever lap I think it was that Senna died, but I'm not sure. So we have team. Well, actually, no, we should be running up now because it is 31 minutes past 7. I don't know if there'll be any more drivers coming in. Seems to be everybody. Kimmy driving tonight as well. Branny, Dammers, yep. So while nothing's going on, I'm going to quickly look at the championship standings just to see what could happen today. Because I know that things are starting to tighten up. I mean, especially in the midfield, I think there's a battle for third, I believe it is, or second in the constructors, which is looking really tight. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing how that plays out. Maybe that changes today in the race. Kyle looking to finish after talking to him yesterday. He's crashed out in the past two races. The first one, he crashed out in Monza all by himself, but the second one in Spa, that was due to a collision with Fairs' AI. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you go watch it after this stream because it was quite funny. With Fairs' car, both of his wheels were, two wheels gone basically, and were hanging off the car, and the thing was still driving perfectly fine throughout the race. Unfortunately though, it did take out Kyle. So he's looking to finish. If he does finish today, I hope he gets himself a podium, if not at least the top 5, because he's got the pace, and I think he could do quite well, maybe even qualify in the front row. Skills Virus impressed quite a lot last time. I'd raced with him before in another league, but seeing him in Torpedo League, which I consider to be a little bit better than the league that he was in before, yeah, he held out really well, and he got P2, which was really impressive. Hopefully a good performance from him today. Don't think anyone else has joined. Nope. Have a look. Omar, I mean, let's quickly just on Omar. He's quick, I will say. I'm not sure what pace he will be compared to these guys, but hopefully he's able to perform quite well. You never know, he might even get points in his first race. It can happen. In a track like this, it's going to be, you're going to have to survive basically, because it is quite a difficult track. Last season when I raced here, I did crash quite heavily. I hope this doesn't happen to any of the guys over here, because the more drivers are on track, the better chance we have for good racing. And Leon, our race steward for F1, saying, "Good evening, my British tea-loving friends." You know what? I like tea. I prefer coffee. I think that more applies to why I always pips. But as you see, drivers are running up. Session just about to start. And another factor, which I haven't mentioned yet, is of course weather. I imagine it's going to be dry all the way through because it's Australia, but stranger things have happened. Yes, Leon is not here today. He's with a friend for tonight, because I guess they're trying to make the most of what's happening, because I think England, much like other countries, are starting to go into another lockdown, which is fun. Except schools for some reason, but I won't get onto that. This is our form of escapism, and we're going to be using this. But as I said, I doubt it will be raining for either the race or qualifying. I imagine it'll be dry all the way through, maybe a bit cloudy, but I can't see that happening. And we've got Max Mulder in. I can't remember if he's driven already this season, but he is here. Yeah, Leon. Schools staying open in Germany as well. I think it's the same for a lot of places. I'm not sure how that exactly makes sense, but yeah, maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. Maybe we know better, but we're not in the position to have. Anyway, it is cloudy. It is cloudy. And as it goes, clearing up and clarifying that Max did drive in Hungary, so thank you for that. And he is driving in the Mercedes. As I say, Buller not being able to make it today, so he will be doing that. And he's coming right out straight away. Tyre warms off, and he's coming right out. But there is Alpha, I believe, that came up before him. He could have done more, actually. Yeah, he's true. Let's go to no tree. These full channel. There we go. So, Q-Tip being the first car out. And if there are any drivers that are currently in the race listening, could you tell me what the weather is, please? Because I'd like to know. It's a bit cloudy here. I doubt this would move into rain. It just means you probably won't get the optimum amount of the tyres because of the track temperature, but nevertheless, should have a close qualifying. Last time it was very, and he's gone. Okay. Don't know what happened there to Q-Tip. I think steering arm came off or something. I don't know why he went straight on, and he's almost gone. Almost blocks the Williams there of Godzilla. He's going around the outside of him. As you see there, the Senna style helmet. On Godzilla there. There's still quite a lot of drivers in the pits currently. Here is Max. About to start flying. I believe Godzilla is the first driver who will be on flying. There's already yellow flags, but I think that's just a car going slowly. Godzilla now on his lap. Looking fairly clean so far. No snaps of oversteer anywhere. No really off-track moments at all. Just looking strong at the moment. Goes into sector 2. I feel like lapping validations are going to be quite a big thing, because there are a lot of places where you can kind of take a little bit extra curve, but sometimes you can take a little bit too much, especially here on that second. Oh, and Godzilla's round. He hasn't kept out of the wall, but he's kept it going. Oh. A fairly decent save there. He's lucky he went side on, but that was a big slide and a big spin. Luckily, Kyle looks okay, but he hasn't had the lap and he's probably really messed up those tyres. Oh, those look hot, and now Q-Tip coming across the line. There you go, 124.1, he is the first driver to put a lap in. Will that time get beaten? It gets beaten massively there, 119.9, 5 seconds quicker. That was Colpo there, and then his teammate coming in at 120.6. And Carl, thank you. Thank you. I think I'll be fine on my own. I'm a big boy, I could do it myself. Charlie going into P3, Branny into P4, Miguel P6, Dan is P5. It's really good to see a bunch of the drivers start coming through. There's the next down for the tower, and over the pits. Do you have the championship permutations with you? I can get up to the post, that's what I was doing earlier, because I'm in my mind trail up, but right, let's have a look. So, very close for second in the championship. If Jackson finishes 2 positions ahead of Fairs today, he will be ahead of him in the championship, depending on where Fairs finishes. So Jackson basically has to finish ahead of Fairs, and he will be up to second in the championship. Codswallop still with a pretty sizable lead at the moment with 193 points, but the gap between Jackson and Fairs is 1 point. It's 120 to 119. Q-Tip is in P4 with 101 points. Then it's a battle for 5th in the championship between Kyle and Tom, or Woes Pips. 4 points separating them. So yet again, Kyle needs to finish today to really get that position. He needs to finish ahead of Woes Pips. And that will be quite crucial for him in the championship. In terms of other closeness in the championship, there's quite a close point gap between probably 8th place and I'd say 13th actually, because there's only 10 points separating those 6. But while I was too busy looking at the championship standings, Jackson himself puts in a 119.9. I do have a bit of a glitch on this now because it's saying Colpo's lap time right down the bottom. But he beat Colpo's lap by 4 thousandths of a second, so really close, really tight. I think he's just going to, Jackson's saving those tyres, he's going to save up his ERS and he's going to go out for another lap. Oh, he's gone off track, unless he's letting through the car. That's not going to help his tyres at all. And he does pit, yeah. Which, yeah, does. Sounds like he's low on fuel. Yarlick going into the pit as well, putting himself P3. Omar actually into P4. I should not have been looking at the championship. I should have waited until we were at a bit of a quiet moment, because Omar puts himself into P4. Really good lap there. Then it's Skills Virus. He's currently on that lap, but he's in P5. Then it's Charlie. Then it's Branny, Dammers, Jake, Miguel, Kimmy, and then Q-Tip the 124. So he must have not had a very good lap. However, drivers who have not put a lap in yet are Woes Pips, Fairs, Manu, Max, Smarts Kyle, and Codzilla, as has just left the session. Didn't even know he was in the session. His did was on the side. As Tom, the Woes Pips, will be starting his lap right now. As I said, he is one of the drivers who has not set a lap yet, so he'll be wanting to get himself a good lap time in. Ideally start ahead of Kyle, who yet again himself has not put a lap in. He's actually in the pits right now. Most people are actually in the pits, while others are on lap laps. Fair's now coming across the line. Where's he going to put himself? It looks quick. He's put himself top. Almost 2 tenths quicker. Really good lap. Really good lap. And he's going to have to be chuffed with that one. That's really going to help him in the championship if he manages to get a pole. But that is provisional pole for Fairs. There's Max Boulder coming across the line. Oh no, I think he made a mistake. His lap time is really off. Now put him behind Keaton. For some reason this time doesn't count it. Maybe it was invalidated. I didn't notice that, and it's just to bring you joined. I didn't actually see him unless I'm being. No, he's not on the. He's not on the side. So he's invalidated his lap again. Meanwhile, Kyle and Manu are currently on an out lap. There is a car going slowly. It's Jarno letting through the drivers that were behind him. Because he's come back into the pits. Close to the line. Actually, this is smart. It's Kyle. Is that Kyle? Oh! That's Miguel. It's Miguel around. Wing damage. That's end plate damage. He's got himself around luckily. And there's only a little bit of end plate damage, but that's going to be really annoying because he was on a lap. So he's going to have to get himself back into the pits and get himself onto a new set of tyres, which he's not going to want to do. As Mac puts himself into P12 and he's also going straight on. So just pushing a little bit too hard. Coming down to turn 1, so that is his lap round. He's going to get enough time to go back into the pits, get a new set on. Let's see how Kyle is doing. Ooh, I know looking a bit sketchy there. He's going board with Kyle. He got the fastest sector too. Oh no, he's gone off! Oh no! He's gone off at the far chicane in the middle of the track. I guess you could call it. In the middle of the lap, whatever you want, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's the far chicane. Just before the DRS zone, and he's lost it. So he's lost it where, or just before where Codzilla had his massive slide. Yet again, not what you want. He's going to go straight back into the pits, get himself some new tyres, and that's going to be really frustrating. Jarno slow again. Oh, he's done. I think he's done the same thing. He's gone sliding off. I think he's done exactly the same as his teammate. Oh, he's going to have to get out of the way of the Ferrari. He's not got any wing damage. But he's still going to be really frustrated after that. But he's in P4, so he's in a fairly comfortable position. He lets the Haas by. There's a yellow flags for a Ferrari, that is Copo. No black lines on the track, so I think he's just letting drivers through. They, the top 3 are currently on an out lap, so let's see if they can go any quicker. So they're on an out lap. He's holding up a driver behind him, and that was Omar, I believe. He was holding up a little bit. Let's see if Kozza can do his lap without spinning or invalidating his lap. He's just behind his teammate from the looks of things, so his teammate Jarno, he does let him by. It says he's on an out lap, but the camera is not supporting that evidence. Right, he's on an out lap, okay. Yet again, I'm just going to ask, what's the weather for the race? Any drivers that are watching, any drivers that are in the pits and are currently able to type in chat, could you please say what the weather is going to be for the race? Just so we have an idea. Jake, put yourself into the pits. Or is Pip on the line? He's going slowly. I wonder if he made an error somewhere. He's turned his ERS right off and he's going to be conserving that for another lap. Omar off track. Probably letting other drivers through. There was an odd place to go off track, so makes sense in Colpo. He's starting another lap now, I think. He's just getting a lap over, but he's 3.5 seconds slower. Jackson on a lap, he's 2 tenths up. He's 2 tenths up on this lap. He hasn't invalidated it. He got really close. He touched the grass though, he might have lost time. He's kept going, he's got a good exit. Staying off the curve, that's going to help him. Will he go top? He doesn't. He improves. He goes a tenth quicker. See anyone else on a quick lap? Brandon's on his out there. A bunch of cars coming into the pits, going for their final run. Some new tyres. Miguel coming around. Will he get himself into the top 10? I'm sure he would like to, even though he loses tyre choice. Oh, he gets a little bit of a snap of oversteer, and he's got another snap of oversteer, and he spun it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when you use zero traction control. He had a little bit too much. You saw he just lost it so easily. When he got about 1100 horsepower right on the rear, that's what can happen. A lot of drivers in the pits currently. I imagine they will all start coming out very soon. We should have a nice little shootout before pole. There's Jackson going back into the pits. Popo currently on a lap, he's 4 tenths under, which would put him in provisional pole by 2 tenths. He's looking smooth. He's shifting up really. He's short shifting a lot. He's in 7th gear coming down to that corner, which is a bit odd. He has got the low fuel sign though, so I wonder if he's conserving fuel on a lap. He's going to try and get himself into the pits, or is he actually going to try and complete this thing? Oh, he's going to get himself into the pits. He's got it invalidated, but he will, he's going to go straight into the pits, get himself hopefully onto new tyres, and hopefully gets himself ready for a lap. Max off track there. I imagine he's probably just letting other drivers through, unless he's on the softs, but he is pitting, okay. He's just on a lap, trying to get himself into a better position. He looks like he's lagged out a few times, so if he doesn't this time. We'll have enough time to get one more above this. And then Godzilla. Oh, Yano, I think, is letting a couple of drivers by. But Godzilla currently on a lap. He has not set a gap, but neither has Manu, and neither has Justin. Oh, Kyle has retired from the session. Has he run out of tyres? I wonder if he's used up his 3 sets of softs. I think it was 3 or 4 sets of softs to go, but going to be disappointed with that. Cole, can you tell me, or tell us, everyone that's listening, what's that about? He's P13, and that could change because Godzilla is now coming around. He hasn't invalidated the lap. It looks fairly short. It puts him 8th, and that pushes Cole down to 14th. It's a full 10th ahead of Wanny. That's just coming across the line. Oh, it's just he cuts the corner there. That, unfortunately, I think is his session over. So he will be starting P19. Manu is currently on an outlap, which he's got traffic though. Charlie in the way of him. Get out the way. No, he's slowing down. He will have enough time to get to the line in time to actually start his lap. There's a Red Bull off track. That is Miguel down turn 1. Running going slowly. Let's go on board with Charlie. Let's have a look at his lap, shall we? Down into turn 3. Switch back over to turn 4. We'll keep my eye on the leaderboard just in case anybody jumps up, anybody puts a better lap time in. As Red Bull comes to the line, I suggest it is, and it will not go any better because he invalidated the lap. So P19 for the Red Bull. Of course, it's just got his first podium, I believe, in Vietnam. And while he was putting himself into P4, really good lap there. Charlie really, he looked like he was on the edge of getting himself through validation there, really wide on the curve, really wide. There's another pass off past his teammate Dowers. Flicks it in, gets the car slowed down for the second to last corner. Does he lock up? No, doesn't. Doesn't hit the apex. Oh, that's going to send it wide. He's invalidated it. It is looking quick. Oh, there's a big crash there. It's Godzilla. What's happened to Godzilla there? We are able to go on board with him. And he's just in the middle of the track. I wonder if he's just, completed a lap and he just sort of turned it into the wall. And his car hasn't actually despawned yet, which is a bit of a weird one. Getting flashbacks to Fez. But while Q-Tip is in the pits, he's the only one that hasn't crossed the line yet. Fez, the man who I said needed to have a good performance to stay ahead of Jackson in the championship. Well, he's only gone and got himself P1 by 4/10. Really good stuff from Fez. And if we compare his pole position to his championship rivals, he's 3 places ahead of Jackson, and he is 7 places ahead of Godzilla. Being more enthusiastic. How am I supposed to do that then? What's this word enthusiastic? I've never heard it before, Tom. Right, I'm going to talk about more enthusiastic. I'm going to quickly get myself a drink. Probably most preferable. It's going to be like a Red Bull and a Monster cocktail. I'll be back from getting myself a drink, and I'll be a little bit more ecstatic this time. I'll just go eat a bunch of coffee beans or something. I don't know. Okay, hello everybody, I'm back. Energy boy here. I'm gonna have to try and be. It means I'm gonna have to be really enthusiastic for the finish. Usually I get Clint to be my scapegoat, and he's usually the one that does the finishes, and he's really and you know who's one today. Anyway, we see the predicted pit stop strategy there. Maybe we see drivers do that, maybe not. There is a very high possibility of a safety car, so we've got to keep that in mind. But nevertheless, let's get on with the grid. So, P1, Fairs, P2, Copo, P3, Yano, P4, Jackson, P5, Tom, the lowest pips, P6, Charlie, P7, Omar, very good qualifying for his first race in Torpedo League, P8, Godzilla, P9, Granny, P10, Skills Virus, P11, TRT Kimmy, P12, Jake, P13, Manu, P14, Dammers, P15, Smart Kyle, P16, Q-Tip, P17, Miguel, P18, Max Mulder, and P19, it's just as, Godzilla and Omar have been disqualified from the session, or been disqualified from the formation for, I assume that's contact, so just get a little bit too bunched up during the formation lap. It's normal to see. It is normal to see. So no big drama there at all. It happens plenty of times. I must say, going into this race, I'm surprised that Kyle and Cozzo are that far back. You'd usually put them as being front row contenders, not being, you know, having basically expecting them to put in a hell of a drive to get themselves into a good position. But we have seen it from the we have seen it in the past before. Oh, there's a bunch of drivers that have been disqualified from the session. Sorry, tell a lie. No, it's just two. It's just the fact that they were four in a row. So that's Wales, Pips, and Charlie get disqualified from the session. But I will try my best not to do any dodgy Australian accents, even though it's very, very tempting. Anyway, we are lining up now. Unfortunately, there will be the start delay, so my delayed excitement before the start of the race. I'll just have to watch out for the revs as they go up. And talk about that, I will put my telemetry on. So hopefully that gives a good camera view. At the moment we're looking from behind, I'd rather look from the front actually. That should be everyone if you just looking now. Everyone, yeah, there you go, here we go. So, oh no, we're right on time, the red's going up, 5-4, 5 lights. And it's go, 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 here we go. Down towards turn 1, it's a really tight turn 1. Blue flags for some reason are already there, but Fair's got a great start. He's managed to keep the lead down to turn 1. Is everyone going to make it through? There's a Haas round. There's a Haas round, that is Charlie. That's Charlie all the way round. He started really high up and all of a sudden, he's gone all the way down. Cozzo put himself to P4, Fairs and Colpo battling. Still yellow flags, Charlie right at the back. He's managed to get himself back going again. But he was back there with a McLaren from the looks of things. The Fairs though, he's managed to keep himself up into the lead. And the timing board is now giving him a slow attack. That's fun. Anyway, we're looking through the field. Once that, we'll wait for a little bit for that to correct itself. Hopefully it does. And it has. Oh, Jarno battling with Jackson. Jackson being forced off the track there. And he's now fell into the clutches of Tom. Or where is Pips? I can't be bothered. Come on then, Tom. Oh, it's contact! And Jackson's round. And what's happened to Warriors Pips? He's actually gotten away with it. He has dropped positions, but he's gotten away with it. But Jackson... Oh, no. What is happening there? So that is one of the championship contenders. That's P3 in the sorry, P. Let me get the stat. Let me get the championship stat. That is P3 in the championship. Spun out of the race. That is Fairs. Behind him is his ex-teammate Cole Grosso in the Ferrari. Behind him is Jarno and Omar. Round of applause to Omar. P4. Really good. And Godzilla as well, getting himself up into a good position. There's another incident. It's Kimi and Miguel. Both cars. It was drive. Yep. Kimi has got going again, but he's lost a lot of weight. He's lost pretty much his entire front wing on the left side. And I'll see what it's like for Miguel as well. What wing damages he got again? Yeah, again same side, but the same amount of damage as well. Charlie in the pits, race ruined practically. Let me get the tyre stats up just to quickly, actually no, position change, who's gone up the most? It's Justin has actually gone up the most, he's gone up 6 positions, so has Kyle, really good start from Kyle as well, getting himself up into P9, but still, Omar and Godzilla are really good from them, Manu moving up also 5 positions, but a lot of movers up, but it's a massive shame for both Jackson and Charlie, both of them going down 13 positions due to their respective incidents, so really disappointing. Look at the tyres. There's another incident. Who's that? It's Jake Marsh. Jake Marsh is round in the Renault. And it looks like wing damage as well. Really, a lot of wing damage. Wow. That is a front wing completely gone. I think he's gone onto the curb, and there is a full-on safety car now. I think he might have gone onto the. I doubt he was hit because I think someone else would have wing damage if he was hit round. And there is Kimi going into the pits after his incident with Miguel. There's Max Mulder going into the pits. Maybe it was Max Mulder and Jake that got into an incident, because usually if you hit somebody from behind, you are going to suffer with wing damage. So I'd like to know what happened there, either in chat or just in the in the YouTube chat, or I'll try and find out later on. Because I'm sure somebody's in a party with Jake, so maybe he can tell us. But the full and safety car is going to definitely shake things up with, so definitely might change the strategy for some drivers, because a lot of the harder running tyres might be able to actually make it a bit longer now. I'm sorry if you're hearing banging in the background, that's my neighbours with the fireworks. Fun. So the field's starting to bunch up a little bit more towards the front as they catch up to the safety car. As Fairs, I don't know what he was doing there. It looked like he was kind of trying to fake going into the pits or something. Was anyone else going to go into the pits? Doesn't look like it. I think everyone's very happy with what they got. I mean, I doubt anyone would pit 3 laps in to go on to different set of tyres. Well, they've got the soft tyre, the best tyre on the grid is Kyle getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding the pit lanes of his race. He starts back in P15, he got himself back up to 9th, and now he's got that extra penalty. Is Jackson also in the pits as well? What tyres will they go on to? And Kyle on the mediums, Jackson on the softs. So I imagine that was just for wing damage. Miguel with a 3-second time penalty. Warnings, that's just bound to be corner cutting or exceeding track limits, and the same for Max as well. Max Mulder getting himself another penalty. There's no point in getting yourself a penalty under a safety car. You don't have to, really stress yourself and catch up. They will be going fairly slowly because they are behind that safety car. So don't see any point in trying to do that. So don't push yourself too much because you can easily catch up within this lap. It's a shame we don't have any AWS statistics, because I'd love to bring up that predicted strategy again and see if it could change things up a little bit. I wonder where Fairs will go on the restart, because I imagine he'll go just on the exit of the last corner, but he might go earlier, or he might even go after the exit, maybe a little bit further down the straight. Don't know what he's thinking, don't know what he's planning. At the moment he is the favourite to win because he is very quick and he's currently leading. I'm sure drivers like Omar and Cordilla would love the opportunity that they've got now, because they can really get themselves possibly into a podium position, as Omar being sandwiched between the 2 Williams cars, but he has a really good opportunity here to prove himself and do almost a bit of a Schools virus, do really well in his first race. Talk about Schools virus, he is behind Wilde's pits in the moment. And also in terms of the championship, if the flag went up now, Fairs would be extending his gap in second place in the championship by quite a margin. So Jackson no doubt will be very disappointed with what happened. I did catch it on the stream, so if anyone wants to watch it back at all, I'm sure Jackson has it from his point of view, but from my point of view it did look a bit like a racing incident going side by side through that corner. You are honestly asking for trouble. Going through those 2 corners you are asking for trouble. You have to be the best drivers, and I'm not saying these guys aren't the best drivers, because frankly they're some of the quickest that I've ever raced with, but you gotta ask the question, why were you forcing a move through there? Why are you forcing a situation? If they can turn it round, brilliant. But if it's going to be a bit of a 1 in a million if they manage to get themselves the podium. I think Tom, frankly, was quite lucky to get away with that, because that could have easily been a 2-car incident. We could have seen 2 cars instead of just the 1. So I would like to see what happened with Charlie, because it looked like he got spun round by somebody. I doubt he got on the throttle too early, because you don't usually see those sort of mistakes here in this league. Maybe you do, it's a bit of a rarity. So I imagine he got tagged probably from, I'd say actually from the front. I reckon he might have been sort of sandwiched a little bit. So I'm kind of surprised that the safety car has not come in yet. Oh, the Red Bull is just catching up now. So, oh, safety car is in the lap. Okay, wow, that's quite a late call actually. So you see they're doing the final preparations, warming up the tyres a little bit. Feels getting really bunched up now. As Fez is going. Oh wow, he went really early. Oh no, he's not. No, he's slowing back down. And he floored it just on the entry to the final corner. And he's going to try and break away this time without there being a safety car to stop his flow. But Fez now with a penalty. That's really not going to help him. I don't think Coco did. There's only about 5 drivers I think so far that have had any penalties, and he is where you can't do that a lot. Back of Omar now. I wonder if Omar will be feeling any pressure. There is yellow flags. Who is round? It's Max Mulder. It doesn't look like he's got any wing damage. I don't know why he's dropped back so much. Maybe he was round, maybe he spun, maybe, I don't know. But there is no wing damage, so if he did spin, he's not got away with it. There's Omar with a 3-second time penalty. He's actually pulled out a gap to Godzilla. Miguel with a 3-second time penalty. Ooh, is that Miguel? Miguel into the... Is Miguel... I think Miguel has retired. That's Charlie again. Charlie again caught up in an incident. That's Miguel's AI. There's another... Is it... Oh, it's a VSC. Okay, it's a VSC. There's a Williams in the pits. That is Godzilla. Godzilla Championship is going up in flames at the moment. Especially with Fez being the lead. Fez is closing in that battle, and I think Charlie, if he is, Charlie's serving a penalty. And eventually the pit stop takes place. Junior Franklin, that's going to be a really long stop. Luckily it's not like the real life has pit team, where hopefully his wheel doesn't fall off halfway around the lap, but nevertheless he would be disappointed with that. He's getting himself onto a fresh set of mediums. Well, there's yellow flags. There's another spinner. It's Branny. Branny's retired from the session. What happened to him there? Oh, that's a big one. How has he done that? Well, okay. So one car crashing causes a VSC, the other one crashes during the VSC. Welcome to Australia. The DRS has now been enabled because we are back green. Keep going really close towards it all. Is Max Mulder getting past his just bus because it's just in the pits. He's getting himself onto some hard tyres. So you get Kyle, Jackson and Kimmy and even Jake actually in a four-way battle here as Manu gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Jackson getting himself actually really close now to Kyle. Jackson on the better tyres, but those tyres will drop off quicker than the mediums. So it's really a question of whether or not he actually goes for it. Very soon, he might go for a 2-stop, maybe go for a soft medium, or a soft medium, depending on how things go. As Jake get himself a 3-second time penalty. The skills virus also had one before. I didn't mention it, but it did pop up. There's another Mercedes. It's Mercedes spun around. It's Max Mulder. It's a shame. There's his teammate now battling for 2 points in the championship. Talk about getting a move done. Colpo, he's now really, really close to Fairs as he's just getting himself a 3 second time penalty. But Colpo now getting himself behind Fairs. Gap's opened up a little bit now. Not sure how that gap closed in so much because it's dispersed quite quickly. Jackson though, yet again right behind Kyle. So is Jake actually. Jake's right behind Kimmy. But we'll watch these two here. There's another penalty. That's 6 seconds worth of penalties now. Here come up the throttle. It's a little bit uneasy going through there. Oh, Jackson! Oh, and he almost loses it. And he's lost 2 positions like that. It's so easy to do. Unfortunately, that's a prime example of why this track is so difficult. And both Omar and Skills Virus have got themselves into the pits. And now, Jackson, yet again, he loses the rear. I wonder if that's just hot tyres, because I've never seen that before. I can't remember if... Does this? Hang on, let me quickly just check something. I think... Surface only. Oh, okay. That might contribute to it, but usually if you have surface and carcass, that's when you usually see things like that happen, where you really light up the rears and then they can go really slippery like that. Like a prime example of it. What the hell happened there? Jarno got himself into P1, and Colpo is now peaking. Colpo with a time penalty. Fairs is now in second. How did? I'm sorry, I missed that. Too busy focusing on the battle behind us. Jackson getting himself the 3 second time penalty. Again, I apologise for that. Should have been a bit more on it. Should have switched over. So Jarno he's into P1 now, and Fairs into P2, and Colpo P3. Well then, as both Fairs and Colpo dive into the pits now. Let's see what they pit for. They both get in without speeding. And Colpo is going onto the mediums. There's a virtual safety car, and that is Max. He's gone forward with Dammers because he's the closest to the incident. And I wonder if he's just done what so many other people have done before. Yeah, he's gone into the wall hard there. But I think he's lost it on the curb. It is so... I'm surprised these curbs aren't made out of ice or something, because they're so slippery. You get onto them, when you get on the throttle, it's very easy to lose. We saw Jackson do it, we've seen plenty of other drivers do it, and I think Max has done it there. Meanwhile though, Jarno on the same tyres as, or that were on the same tyres as both Colpo and Fairs. Still the top 4 are on the same tyres that they started with. That is Jarno, Wires Pips, Manu and Q-Tip. Q-Tip out of them being the anomaly because he is on the hard tyre, so maybe his strategy's actually worked out, because if he can take these hards a lot longer, he might be able to do just the one stop. He might go hard to soft, as Jake and Dan is both getting 3 second time penalties. Two Haas cars, not very good, all the way back down in P14 and P15, so not really what they would have wanted. Carl though, into P5, and Max leading the session there, understandable. Have a great day. As Carl getting, what's happened there? Other than a man spitting. Okay, scores Virus for 2 second time penalty. He's back in P13. So is Omar, but they have just pitted though, so it's understandable. So when these guys... Oh, there's another crash, and it's the same place. Yet again, we've got another victim of that chicane. Mono coming up just behind the safety car. Little hit Bert. There you go. Let's go with... Hopefully the car doesn't desport, because I want to have a look and see if it's in the same place. It looks to be around the same place where Max crashed. It looks to be in the same place that Max crashed out. So we've lost 4 drivers now, which does put the Haas cars at the bottom 2. Not too dissimilar from nowadays, and Dammers has retired. Where? Is he retired in the pits? What happened there? No? Okay. His car's gone. Bono, my car's gone. As that means we only have 5 drivers gone now. 14 left. As Yana going himself into the pits now. He was one of the drivers that hasn't pitted yet, so he's going to do that. Will Woes pit going? Yes, he does. Q-Tip, will he pit? He does. That is interesting. He's going to go, surely not mediums to the end, as the top 6, 7, all pitting. Which, no, 8, top 8 drivers pitting, which puts Fairs and Colpo back to where they were in P. No, hang on. Yano's beaten them to it. Yano has beaten them to it. He's pitted and he's come back out in P1 on a fresh set of mediums. What? What a strategy! If he's done that himself, and if that wasn't, you know, Jeff coming in and being, you know, saying you should do this and that is brilliant. So he's played that strategy really well. As Charlie getting a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, his race going from bad to worse, and it all started from just one small down a turn 1, and look what it's turned into. He's by the back of the grid of the qualifying. Fairly high up actually, I think it was P5 when we qualified. Let me have a look at the position change graphic. Back to P6 or P5. But Q-Tip actually moved up the most, 10 positions, and I'm pretty sure everyone has pitted on some new tyres. Everyone basically has pitted onto new tyres. Omar though with the oldest tyres, but they're only 3 lap up hard tyres, so he should be fine. Maybe he goes softs at the end. Depends how long these hards last for. Depends how many more safety cars we have, because this is the second safety car we've had. We've had another VSC as well. Now I doubt that the safety car is going to come in this lap, so we have another lap, which means we then have 16 laps of racing left. So if you're on fresh hards right now, you may have played the strategy quite well, and you could go to the end. Unless you're willing to risk it and go for the softs towards the end of the race. I doubt anyone will, unless they're looking for a fastest lap was Justin leaving the session. But struggling. I wonder what this does for the championship, because so Fairs would actually close in the championship. Instead of being 73 points, it would be, if he finishes there, so it'd be 20 points. So 53 points. Because it's currently out of the points, Jackson, who's in P3 in the championship, would actually lose a lot of points to Fairs. You'd only get 2 points to be finishing in P9. At least Carl's in the points. It may only be 1 point, but it means he will be closer to Wales Picks, but Wales Picks will be closer to the extent in the championship. And, just a quick, so I guess a bit of a shout out actually. Really good season so far for White Race Pips. He may not have got a podium, may not have won a race, but I've still got to congratulate. I mean this season, which I tell I think he won a podium. Don't at me. But still, really good season so far. He's put himself up into P5 in the championship at the moment. Considering where he was last season, where he was struggling to get points, he basically scraped his way in, and he had a really good race in the final race of the season at Singapore. He's done really well so far this season, and he's in P4 in this race looking for a podium. He is there, it is that close. He could do it, but he's got strong competition in front of him and behind him. Omar wants to have a good finish. Fares wants to get closer to Godzilla in the championship. Kolpo and Yano are going to be wanting to do well for the constructors. It really is all to play for here. As Yano, he hits it coming out of the final, so coming out the second to last corner, he hits the overtake. He's going to try and bolt his way forward as long as pace he had, and he managed to, pull ahead of these two behind him. Can he do it again? That's going to be the question. Give me the 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Hopefully we won't have another incident, because hopefully it'd be nice if everyone could finish this. Johnson getting past Jake. Yellow flags, what's that for? It's Manu. It's Manu there. He has got wing damage though. And, quite a decent amount of damage. That might be quite a dark orange, I think, wing damage on the game. He lost the end plate and he's lost a little bit of the winglets, and there's another spinner. It is Skill Virus, and he's gone all the way down to the last. So Charlie's actually made up 2 positions. So take this text from the victory. Godzilla getting another penalty. I think it's already happened before. Maybe to get himself past Manu. Let's see if there are any other battles currently on the track. Godzilla, he is really close behind. Oh, and look, he tapped the back of Kimi there. He's got some really close racing. I don't think the RS is enabled to get Yano get the fastest lap on the mediums. He's already pulled out the second gap as his teammate, all the way back in P11, looking to scrap for 1 point. And he's got it, but Kimi is right on the outside. He's defending, he's on the right on the overtake. Will he look for the inside? No, he doesn't. He breaks early, but we've got a battle in front between Kyle and Jake. And Jake having to let Kyle through there. Could have ended badly. But Kyle going a little bit off track. That's really not going to help him. Is Jake, can he close back in? It's put. Oh! Godzilla, I didn't see that coming. Whew. Well, it is Halloween. Got a bit of a jump scare there. Always Charlie looking for the inside of Kimi. Kimi having to be basically being forced off track there. And Charlie getting himself up into P11. He's fighting for that point. He's going to try and pry it from Jake's hands. I've got to say, decent drive actually. He started P14, I'm pretty sure, at the restart. And he's already up into P11. About a lap and a bit later. He's coming up 2 laps now. There's some good racing that lap. But it's going to take a good, quite a forceful drive, I guess, from Kyle to get himself back up to Jackson, who's currently in P7. There's a 2-second gap between them. Ryo's pit, he's looking for a podium. He's trying to close in on Kolpo. Yano, he's still got a second. He hasn't really extended it much. It's just sort of hovering around, not between 9/10 and maybe 1.2 seconds. It's kind of hovering around that. As Kolpo gets himself a penalty. Hopefully, Ryo's pits. Actually, let me quickly just check the penalties. Hopefully, I won't miss much. Just check between Kolpo and Ryo's pit. So, 2 penalties for Kolpo Grosso and only 1 penalty for Ryo's pit. So, there's still a possibility of him getting a podium. Skills Warriors gets himself a 3-second time penalty himself, and there's Skills Warriors off track, I think, there. He's just getting himself back up to speed, so yeah, I think there was an incident there. Possibly between him and Kimi, because those two were close together. And Omar, his teammate behind him, Q-Tip. Q-Tip, he was won Baku this season. Since they've had a couple of issues during the races. but he's looking to pass his teammate 45. He's off the overtake, but he's on the DRS. And maybe he waits for the next corner. It's quite a difficult one to overtake on. He does, he hits the overtake, hits the DRS. He's going to sit behind Omar. We go inside or outside. Omar blocking the outside, blocking the inside, sorry. Ooh, and the teammates side by side. Omar is on the worst tyres, and there's an incident there between Skills Virus and TRT Kimi. Both of them off at turn 1. I wonder what happened there. I wonder if one of them tried to make a move on each other going down to turn 1. And as I said, it's not the best place for overtaking. It's just proved it there. It's Manu back in P14, lots of clean air, beautiful, beautiful clean air, gets himself the fastest lap of the race. Good on you, buddy. Good on you, buddy. You're not going to get a point, but no, bragging rights, bragging rights. As fair as another penalty, that's about 9 seconds now. And he's closing in on Yano. But Jackson right on the back of the two Alphas here. Omar is now, he's doing it, look like he was swerving a bit down the straight. I'm sure we're trying to break a slipstream, but nonetheless, Omar still picking up points in his first race, better than I could ever do. It's been 2 seasons. Tell that boy. Jackson is trying to close in. Charlie trying to close in, talking about closing in. He's trying to close in on Kimmy's got past him. And but still going, he's wavering. There's sort of areas where the gap goes down. I get my hopes up, and then there are times when it's the other way around and Jake gets himself another penalty. Jackson's still only 3/10. It's less than that. Jackson. There's Kyle with a 3-second time penalty, but Jackson trying to. Omar keeps swerving. He keeps moving down the straights. I wonder if he might get pulled up on that, because you can't do that. You might get a little bit too carried away and start doing under braking. You can't swerve down the straights, buddy, especially when your DRS is open, because that's going to be really dangerous, because you can lose it so easily. I wonder if he's feeling the pressure of his skills bar if he's gone off track. I don't think he reset the track, but he didn't. Nonetheless, Jackson right behind Omar, looking for the outside. Omar's going to defend the inside. Moves a little bit out, squeezes Jackson. Has he given him enough room? I think he has. They're still banging wheels though. Oh, come on. And it looks like he's giving him space, but is that Omar? Oh, that is Omar. I wonder if he got crossed up a little bit there. You can't blame Jackson there, because I think it's quite difficult to go side by side to that. It was brave than even attempting it. Miguel has left the session. He was the first driver to retire. There's Cotilla getting past Omar. Omar looking to challenge the championship leader. No, he's not. Oh, Omar with a penalty there. It's Cotilla cutting the track there. That's going to be a warning or a penalty. That's surely a warning. He's trying to battle here. Jackson with another penalty himself because of a big lock-up. Omar trying to look for the outside, and I think I know why he had the lock-up, because Cotilla does have wing damage on the right side. I wonder if, I just think where he got that from, but he got himself into a quick position, and now he's going to lose. Actually, no, he might not lose it. He might be safe from the camera. Right, if I can actually talk, that'd be nice. Cotilla, he's out of the points, but I don't think he will drop too many positions because Kimi and Skilled Virus are fairly far back. And I'm going to stop talking about my poor grammar, and I'm going to start actually commentating, because that's what I'm here to do. Coco closing in on fares, Kimi overtaking Cotilla now. Cotilla being overtaken by pretty much everyone now. So, unfortunately, Cotilla, championship leader, he's back in last place. This is shaking out the championship a heck of a lot, especially if there's... Actually, no, Fairs, I don't think he can win the race because he's got lots of penalties. Wildcat just needs to stay as close as possible to his top 3 without getting himself paid on the penalty or spinning or anything like that, because if he keeps it clean, if he keeps the nose clean, he could get himself a podium. I'm sure he'd be really chuffed with that. start raking in the points for his teammate is currently out of points. After I think he had a little bit of a scuffle with Skills. Talking about Skills, he's got himself another penalty. Congratulations. Oh, his Fair's making a mistake there. He's gone off track. Godzilla being a little bit greedy on the inside, taking a lot of curve there. But Fair's nonetheless like making a mistake in his pursuit of the leader. TRT can be getting himself another penalty. Godzilla and Manu battling. Godzilla on the better tyres. I imagine he'll get himself the fastest lap if he gets himself into a bit of clean air. He's overtaken him. As Omar getting himself a penalty. Fairly close to Brazil, I'm not sure if that's worth watching. Could watch Fez trying to close down Jarno. Jarno, of course, he's on two lap newer tyres, and he's also on a harder compound a softer compound compared to Fez. But as you come across the line with 7 laps to go, anything can happen. I think I'm not sure what the limit is in terms of laps to go for safety cars, but there's still time for a safety car which could bunch up the field, and we could see a completely different result to what we expect. Because I mean, for Wyro's Pip's sake, I'm sure he's actually probably wanting a safety car, because if things stay really close and he stays where he is, and he, you know, if the safety car went out now, with the fact that he only has 1 penalty, we could be looking at a P2 or P3, I reckon, because with the penalties that Colpo Fairs has, yeah, it could happen. I think he's kept his nose clean actually, yet again. He's one of the few drivers I think actually is fairly clean in terms of penalties. He's constantly getting himself the fastest lap. Yeah, we at the moment, if safety car came out and it still stayed fairly close, we could see Jarno, and again, look there, Colpo, another penalty. I don't know what Colpo did actually. I think he might have gone wide and got himself exceeding track limits there, because all of a sudden, Wyro's Pip has gone really, really close to him. Talk about really close. Jackson starting to close in, Q-Tip as well, Charlie closing in on Omar. I wonder if he'll get the move down into the first corner, maybe 4 if he's lucky. But imagine he'll play it safe. Maybe he'll do it down for turn 3, because turn 1 is quite lethal to go for an overtake for. Godzilla, another penalty. That is not how you get points. That is not how you keep the title run going. Tried to not have much overtake. I'm not sure if he got 1 there, because he did take a lot of that front corner, and there's yellow flags. What's that for? That's probably just Manu going slowly. Jackson's still behind Q-Tip. He's going to be pushing hard for these next 6 laps. On the brakes he seems really strong actually. It's just that's not disrespect everywhere else. It just seems to be like Q-Tip able to pull away just that little bit. You don't know if that's set up maybe, or if that's just assists, or even just one being on a wheel or something and the other being in control. I'm not sure what they actually play with, but there's all these little factors that can sort of help you in skills, whereas getting himself a penalty. I think he's battling with Kimi at the moment or something, I'm not sure. Yellow flag, not sure again what for. Actually looks like it. What's going on here? I think starting to bunch up a little bit around here, because Jake's closing in on these 2. Jake could be on for some decent points here today. It's Jackson. Yeah, get on the brakes. Ooh! If he didn't get a warning from that, he's really skittery on the throttle. I'm surprised he didn't get any warnings from that. And that could have been 2 warnings in a row there from the looks of it, because he went really deep into the corner and then he went almost really shallow into the next corner. But he's trying his hardest. Staying in a good position. Godzilla getting past Skills Virus and yeah, again, Jackson. I wonder if Jackson's just been a bit too aggressive on the throttle. He might be running in the rich mix as well to help himself, because you do get that little bit of a kick coming out of the corners if you do. I think that might be the problem. He's really eager on the brakes. You can see it. He's closing in a lot. But as soon as he gets onto the throttle, that's when things start going badly. Is Jackson getting himself a penalty? It was a matter of time. It looks like he's the closest battle, unless Charlie can get past Omar. Charlie looking for the outside on Omar. Can he get moved on? Oh no! I think that was lag. I think that was lag because Omar, again, you saw that from my point of view. Ah, that's a shame. Charlie was running a really good position there. And Omar is lagging a lot actually. He is lagging a lot. You can see it from Charlie's point of view there. Kimi getting a penalty there. I mean, it was a bit of a different penalty actually because it was oh hell no. Hang on, Jackson looking for the inside of a Q-tip. A little bit of contact. But I think overall though, because Jackson has given them the space, they are still battling though into this corner, and he's let the Q-tip through. You know what? That's. Ooh. Trying to make sure my heart's working, Jackson, aren't you? As he almost loses it yet again. It's the second time that lap I've seen him try to put the car on the wall. I think that might just be the traction control and the zero traction control and him trying to just put it in a better position. What's he doing? Keeps it defending the inside, puts himself central. Kimi tends to get up, he's look. He might as well be trying to get himself disqualified, and he stopped. I think actually at turn. He spun it just on the exit of turn 2. As the leaders are going to come round to lap him now. Oh, Jake getting himself past Omar. He's done it quite well. As Charlie getting himself into P8 after what we saw happen to him. He's clearly managed to get himself into P8, and Jackson trying to get himself into the top 5 now. He's on the DRS, he's on the overtake, looks from the outside. Oh, he's gone really, really hard on the brakes. It seems to be, well, there's still contact. Yano, 3-second time penalty. I believe that's his first one. Contact. Just banging wheels there. Jackson on the outside. Being a little bit more aggressive this time, 3 laps to go. Oh! Jackson really close to losing it there. I wonder if he was practicing dirt rally before this, because he's been catching slides, so there's been no tomorrow. He managed to get another penalty. And while these two have been battling, Kyle's starting to close in a little bit. The gap's still 1.6 seconds, but it can be done. It can be done. He could close into these two if these two keep battling the way that they are. And Kimi has retired. He's retired the pits. Omar with a penalty. Jackson getting another snap of oversteer. So now only 13 drivers left. 6 have retired. Fair's getting another penalty. Tom must be absolutely grilling his arse off. There's a very good chance he could be getting a podium here. If he keeps it clean, he keeps it safe. He has dropped a lot back actually to Colpo. But Q-tip is 9.3 seconds behind Tom. So, oh, this is Q-tip and Jackson battling yet again. And I think there was contact because it looked like they switched position, but then Jackson went a second down. So I wonder if there was contact there. So I imagine we'll be seeing lots of clips, I reckon, in chat. So Leon, you got your work cut out for you. Fairs, he's getting really close now. It's 4 tenths. 4 tenths of a second. That's all that separates these two. These two have been absolutely class. To be fair, the top 3 have been absolutely class throughout the whole of the race. As we start the final lap, Suarez has retired, but he's retired on track. I don't think he's gone to the pits. He hasn't. He's still over in the first sector. Omar always crashed. Omar has crashed. As Fair's looking for the outside, and Jarno's the closest I think they've been all race. Jarno with the Roland Ratzenberger helmet. Fez looks like he's got the Ettensen helmet. Both of them battling for the race win. With those two helmets, I think this is a perfect way to commemorate both drivers. A perfect way to end this race as we see these two battling. Will Fez go for a move? He won't go for a move for here, surely not, and he doesn't. He's going to get onto the DRS. Coming down into the right turn. What's he going to do, inside or outside? He doesn't. He's not able to get past him. Jarno still keeping him behind him. And he's too far back now, surely. Fez deep on the brakes. He's slowed it down, but he hasn't managed to do it. Is Jarno is going to come across the line and he's going to win in Australia. Manu crossing the line with his teammate. I'm sure that'll make a good photo finish. But with 11 cars finishing and that many retiring, brilliant. And why was Pips? He doesn't get the podium. He's 6/10 off of it. No. Oh, that's such a shame. Even Colpo was only a 10th off of getting himself into P3. As Smarts Cole beating Jackson on penalties to P6. And Charlie coming across the line in P8, hopefully. Jacob, he got a 5-second time penalty for an undeserved time penalty, but Jake staying in P9. Godzilla salvaging a point. He's going to come across the line in 10th place. Well, was it a bad race, eh? Was it a bad race? Let's see who the game says is driver of the day. Q-Tip. I think that's understandable. Personally, this is no favouritism, no nothing like that. I have to say, you know what? I don't actually know. It was a great drive from everyone, honestly. The top three, brilliant. Why was Pips keeping that P4? He fought for that podium on penalties. It just didn't happen. Q-Tip yet again, though. I gotta say, Q-Tip's a really strong contender for driver of the day because he qualified 16th on the grid. He got no penalties, and he finished 5th. You can't fault that, can you? You can't fault that. So my driver of the day is going to have to be Q-Tip, no doubt in my mind now, after looking at that. So brilliant drive, and we will be getting the top three, which are Jarno, Fez and Corpo, into this party so that we can talk to them about that race. Expect a lot of questions where I say, how do you feel? Because I'm not very good at coming up with questions on the spot. Get that up. Alright, and we're going to quickly invite the people. Bear with me, I am just inviting the 3 drivers. That I've only invited 2 of them. Fun. And then finally Fez. Alright, thank you for the 2 viewers that have actually stayed for the interviews.
Well,
Hello. Congrats on the win.
there he fucking is. The win. Oh my god.
You know what, I'm not going to be clear, I'm not going to force the language, you can say it, because that's a brilliant win.
Oh man. What do you expect me to say now? Jesus Christ.
Cole saying he's so happy for you, he deserves it more than anyone. You know what, I'm going to start the questions before anyone gets here. Well, you're
More than fine.
the first one.
I probably won't be able to answer anything, but fire away.
I will try not to ask how you feel. Actually, you know what? I'll just quickly ask how do you feel about getting that first one. I know we heard your initial emotions, but how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, if you league race for so long, have so much bad luck in one season, I've been close, like, you know, this season I should have won twice. Yep. Season 1 I had this massive I just had that massive battle with Copa once a couple of years ago, a couple seasons ago, season 1 Brazil. I've been close for so many times, and after being so consistent in season 1 F2 with podiums and just being consistent and doing well, you know, the win is that final step, like the final thing. You be like, okay, Faris, man, like when you win, you know, I've been the best today, no matter what the fuck's going on, and finally that has happened. Thank you, Faris. Why the fuck did you go side by side with me with 1 lap to go? You made me shit, man. You made me shit me.
Kolpo had 12 seconds. I had 12 seconds, and Kolpo had 9, and he was like 3.2 seconds behind me.
You just about had it, huh?
Yeah, by 1/10.
Cole just said this may be uploaded to Instagram, so keep it at semi-PG at least. Sorry, Kyle.
I'll do my best. Yeah, it's just a bag of emotions. It's just after such a shit period. I mean, personally, mental health-wise, this last half lockdown hasn't been so well. School has been hard, and when the things you love are also not going well, it just feels like you're in a big hole, and it's just good to finally have something good, and finally something to look back on. Wow, that was fucking amazing, you know. And that has finally happened. That feels good. It's good.
Right. Just quickly, I want to ask you two, what actually happened? Because stupidly, I think I was looking at the championship and I didn't see. How did Jarno overtake both you and Cole?
Well, what happened is I was being the smartest. My software, like, Faris, were your software that worn that you pitted so early? Because I was planning.
They were like at 60%.
Wow, mine were at like 48 at the moment. Faris and Kolpo pit, and I was like, well, tires feel good. I'm not on the verge of crashing, so yeah, I'm gonna stay out. And then I saw when they came in virtual safety car, and I was like, oh shit, man, this is gonna mess up my race. And then the safety car, I think I would have came out ahead, or even close, and I would have had a tire advantage, also with their penalty. So I think, without me being lucky with the safety car, I would have won the race. It's just, I think so, because you guys had so many penalties. I was like, just keep it clean, keep it normal. You can always win this. And when the safety car came out, I of course came in for my one and only pit stop, quite logically. And then I came out in front of them, and I was leading. I came in the lead, and I came out in the lead. So that's how it happened. And then I just stayed to myself, not too much ERS using, keep it ahead of Faris. Doesn't matter if he keeps it in the slipstream. I know he's a respectful overtaker, and he only overtakes when he knows he can. And I didn't want to get, as much as I love Kolpo, you know, being in front of Kolpo is a danger sometimes.
Trust me, I was shitting my pants the whole time he was behind me.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, if you were talking about how I got in the lead before they pitted, they had a half spin. They had a half spin. And I just really slowly and carefully went around the outside. So that's how I got in the lead in the first place.
Okay. Question for Fez. Do you think if you had maybe a lap more, do you think you could have got past him or not?
Yeah, but I mean, he only had 3 seconds worth of penalties. There was no. I didn't even want to pass him in the last lap, but it's just I had to hurry up because Kolpo. I had to get a 3-second gap to Kolpo, So I even put it on lean and everything, and because Yarno didn't have any ERS, I got too close to him. But yeah, I mean, it was in the end, it was the perfect situation for me because I knew Yarno was. There's no way I was gonna get Yarno because of the penalties, and Kolpo, I got ahead of him by 1/10, so I'm quite happy. I'm also very happy with my quali lap. That was probably the best quali lap I've ever done. But yeah, I mean, Yarno really deserved this. Deserved this.
Thank
win.
you.
I mean,
Yeah, and the race was pretty
everything that
difficult.
happened and everything, he really fought for it. It wasn't that easy. I was on him the whole
Oh,
time.
it was not easy, dude. Oh my god.
He deserved this one.
Thank you. It's very nice.
Second question, quickly for Fairs. With
Yes.
you getting these extra 20 points, this puts you 53 points now away from. Sorry, 52 points away from Godzilla now. I think I might have asked you this last time. Is it again? Is
Yeah.
a championship possible?
I mean, it was before last week's disconnect. Honestly, I've mentally, I'm not gonna lie, I've pretty much given up on the championship. I'm just racing for fun right now. Yeah, that's it.
All right, quick question for both of you. I'll start with Yarno. Next week, it is the first time Torpedo League are going to Suzuka.
Oh yes, maybe.
I was gonna. Well, that might have just answered
Yes.
the question. You looking forward to it?
Oh man, Suzuka is honestly, from wheel perspective, since I got onto the wheel beginning of season 2, Japan, especially on F1 2020, where you can actually ride the curbs and not do a big spin when you do it, and the bump is gone. Suzuka is definitely one of the most challenging, demanding, and it's at the meantime rewarding and fun tracks on the calendar. And I, in the league where I'm at, FRL, I got a damn good result there. I finished second after being last at the last safety car period with like 10 laps to go. Wow. So I passed like 10 people, and I eventually got first because Kimi had a penalty. Kimi from this league, he's in that league as well. But then he got his penalty removed, so I moved to second. Still one of my best drives ever, and I mean, Japan is just such a thrill to drive. I mean, lap in, lap out, it's just a good track. If you have a good setup, you have confidence, it's one of the best tracks to drive at. It ranks really high up my list, like really high.
What about you, Fairs?
I mean, yeah, I'm quite excited to be honest to have new tracks. You know, I've never raced there. I've never had a league race around there, so I'm quite excited for it.
All right, thank you. That will be the end of the interviews. I haven't really got Clint here, unfortunately, so he can't add any other questions. But thank you. Congratulations on the second place, Fairs, and moving up high in the championship. And of course, massive congratulations to Yarno for getting your first win. So,
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Finally.
Alright, see you boys.
It was about time. See you, man.
Yeah, you deserve this one, Yarno. You really
Thank
do.
you. I believe so. I do too. Not without being cocky. It was about time. It was about time, you know. Such a fight. Such a fight. Finally.
Alright.
It finally happened. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thanks for the good racing. Bye.
Bye bye.
Right. So that is all for tonight. I'm not going to do a Clint and speech monologue at the end of it. Just want to say thank you for everybody that was watching / listening to the stream. It means a lot. If you wouldn't mind, just clicking that subscribe or heading over to Instagram, because that's where we're most active. Where you'll get standings, you'll get little facts, and also some news, because of course Torpedo League isn't just F1, it's also F2. So please come back next week at 7:30, where we will be at Suzuka, as I said, for the first time in Torpedo League history. So it's a goodbye from me, and it's been fun actually. It's been some really good racing. So thank you everybody for watching and listening.